Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how I dial in my tones for a big rock rhythm guitar sound. So first of all, a big disclaimer, this is not like a high gain metal sound. It's more of a punk rock, more like a big Green Day distorted sound, that kind of thing. Those kinds of punk rock bands that have pretty much metal tones, but without all of that extra gain. It's still very usable for more modern prog rock or prog metal guitar sounds that actually don't have tons of gain. But anyways, this is how I dial in my amplifier. And I'm using a 1x12 so that you can see that you don't really need a 4x12 huge amplifier. A 1x12, in this case 30 watts, can blow your head off. It's really loud, so be careful with that kind of volume. And I'm gonna be using my Ibanez RG, and in the spirit of big rock guitar tones, I'm gonna be using the bridge humbucker, which is what most people use, and that gives you that really nice mid-rangey, bright, thick, at the same time trebly sound. It's very appropriate for rhythm guitars. When we look at the amplifier, here I have everything at 0, and I'm gonna be using this very cheap Behringer knockoff of an Ibanez Tube Screamer. The original one is like $100, this one is like 25 or something, and it sounds pretty much the same. It's a really cool pedal. I wouldn't necessarily trust it in a gig or in a tour because it's all made out of plastic, but it sounds really good. Let's listen to my clean tone. That is the normal channel or the clean channel. So we're gonna go to the overdrive channel, and first we're gonna add EQ, and I'm gonna set everything at noon at first, and just a little bit of volume to see what it sounds like. That's a very nice clean sound, but that's not what we're going for right now. For the kind of sound that we're going for, we don't really need that much gain. So we're gonna set it to around 10 o'clock. When you are in a mix environment, when you are trying to record your guitar and a full band, sometimes it's helpful to turn down the mids a little bit. You don't want to take out too much middle range because that's pretty much where the body of the sound of the guitar is, but too much mids can make your mix a little muddy. I like my guitar tones a little brighter, and I also like having a little bit more body. Even if I take out those low frequencies with an EQ, it still makes the guitar sound a little bigger. And now this is a very classic trick. We're gonna use a Tube Screamer, in this case a Behringer copy of a Tube Screamer, to make the gain a little bit tighter and to push the front end of the amp. So it makes it a little bit louder and it gives it a little bit more gain. But the classic way to use this is to don't use any overdrive at all, pretty much. You can add a little bit if you want, and turn the level all the way up. That way you're using it as pretty much just a boost for the preamp of your amplifier. And from here you can see what it sounds like. Maybe with your rig it sounds a little darker, so you might want to increase the tone, or it sounds too bright and you want to make it a little darker. In this case, because I'm using a small amplifier, small amps usually sound a little brighter and like that body of big 4x12s. So I'm gonna try to make it a little darker with the tone control. Around there sounds nice. That already sounds pretty big, and as you can see, we're not using tons of gain. Our preamp is not even at noon, and our overdrive pedal doesn't have any overdrive at all. If you were to hear this tone in a mix with two rhythm guitars, you would think that guitar has a lot of distortion, but it really doesn't. And so because I'm not in a studio, I can't crank up the actual volume of the power amp, of the amp. So it is loud because I'm in a room that makes the sound bounce a lot. But as you can see, it's barely a 3 out of 12. It's at 9 o'clock. It can go way louder, and I'm sure the distortion would be smoother and more warm. It would let out more mid-tones. It's just not possible for some of us. We can't really crank up a tube amplifier any day. And that's pretty much it. That's how I dial in my tones for a big rock rhythm guitar. If you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comments, and I'm gonna have links for all of the equipment that I'm using in the description. And that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.